I have officially joined the Bald Baddies Club. What's up, everybody? It's your favorite goddess king. It's your favorite pirate captain. It's your favorite auntie uncle. It's your favorite hood healer, high priestess, motivational dominatrix, LadySpeech in the place to be. And I want to welcome you back to my channel. You could be anywhere in the world, absolutely positively anywhere in the world. As a matter of fact, you are somewhere in the world. And you're also choosing to share a little bit of time and a little bit of space with me. So thank you for that. If you like what I'm doing, if you like what you see, if you're feeling any of this, if you're feeling any of me, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, baby. And make sure you hit the notifications bell so you can keep up with all my happenings and shenanigans and all that good stuff. Now, let's get into today's video, shall we? Alright, y'all, as you can tell from the thumbnail, as you can tell from the title, as you can tell from the intro, as you can tell from looking into the screen right now, I ain't got no hair. I'm balder than a newborn baby's bottom, honey. I'm balder than a chicken on a farm, baby. I am over here representing the sexy milk duds, okay? I don't got no hair. I'm bald. I ain't got no hair, not one lick of hair, not one strand of hair. If it's hair, I ain't got it at the top of my head. We bald, baby. We bald. So let's talk about why I did this. Let's talk about why I did this, baby. Talk about why I did this, honey. Talk about why I did this, baby. Talk about why I did this, honey. First and foremost, let me say this. I want to say I need to start out this video by saying shout out to Ashara Ekundayo. Shout out to a former mentor of mine, Ashara Ekundayo. So much of what I am, so much of what I do, the foundation was given to me by this beautiful soul, by this wonderful woman. This person, this woman, this being of culture and light took it upon herself to steward the Denver, Colorado community in the way of the Pan-African arts, in the celebration of African American culture, in the celebration of African culture. This woman took me under her wing years ago, and she was one of the first black women I met in person who rocked a bald head. And from that moment, from my late teens, from the first moment I met her, I absolutely knew I wanted to shave my head. But I've been wanting to shave my head long before that. I grew up watching the Discovery Channel back when you could actually discover shit on the Discovery Channel. And I grew up reading National Geographic. I was a whole nerd. And I was most definitely into one of the things that held my interest strong was the study of indigenous cultures, from all across Africa to the Americas to other continents. I loved studying about indigenous cultures. And one of the things that I've always been interested in is our body modification and our hairstyles across the globe. I've always been very interested in this. And cultures where women shave their head have always been intriguing to me, and I've always found those women to be so very beautiful. So when I was younger, I definitely had a couple of images of myself as I grew older. I definitely held a vision of myself having very long locks and lots of piercings and lots of tattoos. But I also held another vision in my head. And that vision was me being completely bald at some point in my life. So I wanted to do this for a very long time. I have wanted to see myself bald for a very long time. If you've been following me on my journey, if you've known me for a couple of years, you know that I've gone through several different spaces with my hair. Those of you who are OGs, remember the days of the blonde afro. Y'all remember the days of the blonde afro, baby. And for the most part, I've done variations of the afro, and I have cut it off. Y'all have seen me with the low fade. But the most you've ever seen me with is a low fade. You've never seen me bald. You've never seen me bald. I've never seen me bald. You've never seen me bald. We've never seen me bald, baby. But it was time. It was time. It was time. And unfortunately, the reason is not the happiest. So like I said, I've been wanting to cut my hair for a long time. I've been very curious. I've been wanting to go bald for a very long time. But I was scared. I was scared. I was scared. And all these years of admiring black women who are bald, and all these years of admiring and seeing indigenous women, indigenous cultures, modern day women, and all, I have so many positive images of black bald women, of women of color being bald. I have so many beautiful images of black bald women, and I had been wanting to do it for years, and I was terrified of doing it. I was absolutely terrified of doing it. Until the end of last year. This is something that I have spoken to in other parts of my social media. It's something that I spoke to in a recent video I just posted. It's something that I'm going to speak to in other videos because I'm going to be processing this for quite a while. The reason why I cut my hair, the reason why I decided to go bald was for ritual and ceremonial reasons. It was for grieving reasons. It was to honor my two friends that were murdered in a hate crime in Denver, Colorado at the end of 2021. In many cultures, part of how we show our grief when a comrade, when a warrior, when a loved one, when a beloved has passed on into the next realm, part of the ways that we celebrate them, part of the ways that we honor them ritualistically, spiritually, and personally is by cutting the hair. One of my good friends who was murdered, this hair cutting ceremony is definitely a part of her tradition. My friend Alicia Cardenas and Alyssa Gunn Maldonado were taken by the hands of a white supremacist. They were taken from us. They were taken from their families. They were taken from this earth. They were taken from their friends. They were taken from their community. They were taken from us in one of the most brutal ways. And they were taken from us in the name of hate. This man hated women. And he hated black women. He hated brown women. He hated indigenous women. He hated. And he killed. He went on a whole hateful shooting spree in the name of this hate. When my friends were murdered, I had just moved to Ohio. I had been here less than 12 days. And when I got the news, I knew that my place was back in Denver, Colorado with my friends. I knew my place was back in Denver, Colorado with my people. I knew that there was work to do. I knew that I needed to go and cleanse the place that this heinous crime went down in. I knew I needed to remove that energy and stabilize that space so my friends could go back to work eventually. I knew that I needed to be there to offer anchor to so many people who would be hurting. I knew. I knew I needed to assist in lifting my friend's spirit and helping them cross into the ancestral realm. I knew that I needed to be there. As a friend, as a comrade, I knew I needed to be there to honor them. So I left. Less than 12 days after moving to a new state, I left and I went back home. When I got back home, I was immediately called into the work of a death doula, the work of a high priestess, the work of a healer. I was immediately called into my work. And I am grateful for this work, and I am grateful to be called into this work, because being able to be there for my community, being able to be there for my family, being able to be there for the spirits, for the ancestral spirits of my fallen sistren, helped me to do so much healing. And for this, I am grateful. I went back to Colorado and I engaged in days worth of ceremony, days worth of healing. I made mojo bags. I offered comfort. I gave readings. I stood in the gaps anywhere Spirit told me to stand in the gaps. I stood. I cleansed. I held. I cried. I hugged. I released. I did everything Spirit told me to do. I did everything that Spirit told me to do. And I was able to be an asset to my community. I was able to carry out wishes, the wishes of my friends. I was able to pull up into my mediumship duties and use them for my friends. Let me just say that it is some of the best work I've ever done. It is an honor to be able to do this work. It is an honor to be able to do this work for my friends. And it is some of the most heartbreaking work I've ever had to do. I cut my hair to honor my sisters. I cut my hair because hair is sacred. And their lives are sacred. I cut my hair to honor these women, to let them know that I love them, to express my grief. I cut my hair to die to every part of me that began to die when I heard the news. I cut my hair to steward my rebirth. I cut my hair for ceremony and for ritual. I cut my hair to honor and to release. I was so scared to cut my hair before this. I was so scared to be bald. I was so afraid of how I'd look. I was a bit worried about what people would say. But as soon as I went back to Colorado, I knew what I needed to do. And I knew part of that was cutting my hair. I cut my hair and I made an offering of my hair to my friends in the name of their journey to the other side. That is why I chose to be bald. And that is why I will remain bald for the next year in honor of my friends. To express my grief, to showcase my rebirth. You will never see more than a smattering of hair on this head for the next year. I plan to keep it as skin bald, as close to skin bald as I possibly can. Every time I look at my bald head, there's a part of me that heals. It was an honor to shave my head in a ceremonial fashion, in a prayerful way. It was an honor to sacrifice this for my friends. It was an honor to show my love and my respect for them through this way. Cutting my hair was just as much for me as it was for them. It helped me to root myself in my healing process. It's helped me to release everything that needed to go away. You know, there is another place in the world that I occupy where we cut our hair for ceremonial purposes. And that is when we get initiated. This death definitely feels like an initiation. I remember the first few days after this happened, I said it and I kept saying it. I kept saying that something about this was different. Something about this was changing me. Something about this felt deeper. It felt like some type of sacrifice. It felt deeper. And I still feel this way. I am not who I was. I am not who I was in December. I am not who I was before this happened. I am not who I was 2 years ago. I am not who I was. The way this forced me into a different dimension of myself is absolutely surreal and unreal. So this is why I chose to go bald. And this is why I will remain bald for the next year. I remain bald to celebrate their lives. I remain bald to celebrate who they were at their core and their precious, precious essence. Do I love it? I do. And even if I didn't love the way that I looked, even if I didn't feel good about the way that I looked, I would still remain bald for a year. Fortunately, I adore my milk dud, sexy bald head. Fortunately, I am in love with this hairless life. Fortunately, I'm absolutely positively feeling the holy shit out of myself. And for this, I am thankful. I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful. And like I said, even if I didn't love it, even if I thought it looked ugly, even if I thought this did not enhance any part of me, I would still be committed to being bald for the next year. But fortunately, I absolutely love the way that I look. I absolutely love the way that I look. And honestly, I might be bald for a long time. I actually might be bald for more than a year. I don't know. But so far, I'm absolutely loving the bald life. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm absolutely loving the bald life. Aesthetically, I think I'm cute. I think I'm amazing with all these piercings. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Speaking of piercings, you guys might have noticed this new beauty up on my face, my Monroe. I'm super proud of it. I love it. You know, it's something that I was not thinking about. I was not thinking about this piercing before this happened. All of my work, all of my body modifications has been a process of ritual. It's been a process of bloodletting. It's been a process of blood ritual. Each and every piece that's on me, each and every piercing has been a very serious and life-changing experience for me. And it has opened me up into a different dimension of myself. So this piercing was also part of my grieving process. Alicia Cardenius was co-owner of Soul Tribe. And Alicia, my comrade, my friend, my sister, she is responsible for the Sankofa tattoo across my chest, as well as the elephant tattoo on my stomach. And she's responsible for the piercings in my face. Anytime I went to her, it was an act of blood ritual. And I was absolutely transformed every single time. My body modifications, they heal me. They connect me to my ancestors. They correct things in me. They anchor me to my past, my present, my future. My body modifications are holy acts. So this piercing, it was to honor my friends. It was to bleed from my friends and from myself. And this ritual was for other things as well that you don't really need to know about. But just know that the people in the spirits accepted this as an offering. So that's that, y'all. That's the ins and the outs of it. That's the ups and the downs of it. That is the reason why I have come back to you with no hair and a new piercing. That is why I am officially part of the Bald Baddies Brigade. This is why I look the way that I do these days. I do not regret it at all. I do not regret it at all. This is the least of what I could have done and I could do for my friends. Being able to do my job as a priestess, as a death doula, as a healer, being able to use my skill set to assist my friends, to assist and heal my community, to assist and heal myself, has been a great honor. This is, again, some of the most heartbreaking work I've ever engaged in, and some of the most satisfying and fulfilling work I've ever engaged in. To be able to honor my friends in this way, with my hair, with my blood, and with my flesh, with my tears, and with my work. To be able to make an offering of these things in the name of my people. This is why I've trained. This is why I've studied. This is why I do what it is that I do. And that's that on blood ritual. And that's that on healing. And that's that on being part of the Bald-Headed Baddies Club. If you made it to the end of this video, gold star for you. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for holding space for me while I walk my healing path. You know, I am not a healer that is out here and just preaches the good word to you. I am not that type of reverend. I'm not that type of priestess. I'm not that type of healer that tells you what you need to do and don't do anything that I say. I'm very much a healer that heals. I'm very much a healer who believes in healing themselves. I'm very much a healer who is interconnected in a very intimate way with my healers. I am a healer that pursues my wounds. And I want to thank you for holding space for me when I need to do that. There are days, there are times, there are months when I need to step back and I need to attend to myself. You know, I am human just like you, and in no way, shape, or form am I above you. You know, I fall, I stumble, I need help. There's things that I struggle with. There's things that I need to work on. There's healing that I need to do. And when those things get big, when those things require a lot of my energy and my attention, I take my time and I take my steps back in order to attend to those things. So I appreciate it when y'all recognize that I need to do what I need to do. I appreciate y'all for being patient with me. I appreciate y'all for supporting me and for loving me. It makes coming back to you that much sweeter and oh so great every single time. All right, y'all. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you go. You go ahead and you have yourself a good day. A good morning, a good evening, a good afternoon, a good whenever you encounter this. A good middle of the night, honey, if that's what you're doing. Know that I love you. Know that I love you. Know that I live you. And I thank you so much for everything you do for me. And lastly, you know the drill. If you like what I'm doing, if you like what you see, if you're feeling any of this, if you're feeling any of me, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you can keep up with all of my shenanigans and happenings and good stuff and things. And on that note, God willing, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.